What happens when we take our final breath? Does the self fade into nothingness, or does it traverse realms beyond human understanding? Welcome, traveler of souls, to the enigma of all enigmas. Today, we delve into one of the deepest and most mysterious texts of Tibetan Buddhism, the Bardo Thodol, more widely recognized in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Imagine a companion that guides you through the most profound and unfathomable experiences of existence. This is the role of the Bardo Thodol. It is far more than a simple handbook on the end of life. It serves as a spiritual map, a guide for the journey that begins immediately after physical death. Prepare yourself, for we will cross this threshold together, decipher its profound wisdom, and perhaps grasp a deeper understanding of existence itself. The Bardo Thodol was composed by Padmasambhava, a figure of legendary and almost mythical stature within Tibetan Buddhism. Born in India, he is celebrated as the man who brought Buddhism to Tibet during the 8th century. Tibetan tradition venerates him as Guru Rinpoche, meaning precious teacher. But Padmasambhava was more than a mere monk. He was a profound spiritual luminary, a yogi proficient in mystical practices and esoteric knowledge. The Bardo Thodol emerged from this master's compassion and desire to guide not only the living but also the dead, offering them a path to liberation even beyond the cessation of life. From a young age, Padmasambhava displayed remarkable spiritual prowess and was recognized as a Mahasiddha, a person of great spiritual accomplishment, endowed with miraculous abilities known as siddhis. His extraordinary reputation earned him an invitation to Tibet from King Trisong Detsen, who aimed to strengthen the nation spiritually and expand Buddhism's reach. At the time, Tibet was steeped in shamanistic rituals and animist beliefs deeply rooted in the Bon religion, an indigenous spiritual practice. The rich, complex, and often chaotic spiritual landscape posed significant challenges to Buddhism's growth. Upon his arrival, Padmasambhava encountered resistance from various spiritual forces tied to local traditions. Using his vast knowledge of magic and tantric rituals, he subdued these spirits, integrating their powers into the framework of Tibetan Buddhism. This synthesis was crucial in establishing a resilient spiritual foundation. Padmasambhava went on to establish Sami, Tibet's first Buddhist monastery, and impart teachings on the nature of the mind, reality, and the cyclical existence known as samsara. Tibetan Buddhism perceives death not as an end but as a transformative phase, a gateway to potential liberation. Padmasambhava understood that at death, the mind enters a state of heightened awareness, free from the distractions of the physical body, making it uniquely receptive to ultimate truth. However, he also recognized that most individuals, gripped by fear and illusion, become ensnared in confusion, missing the chance for liberation. Determined to alleviate suffering and open the path to enlightenment, Padmasambhava created a guide intended to be read by those assisting the dying or studied by individuals in life, preparing the mind for the bardas, the transitional states following death. His work is rooted in profound compassion, designed to illuminate a path even when existence dissolves into uncertainty. He acknowledged that while many may not achieve enlightenment during life, death presents a final, potent opportunity. Therefore, he offered detailed guidance for recognizing the clear light, the pure, luminous manifestation of mind, at the moment of death. The Bardo Thodol outlines 3 primary states, or bardas, that each soul navigates. The first is the Chikai Bardo, the moment of death itself. In this phase, the soul transitions as the physical body dissolves, freeing consciousness from its material constraints. Upon full dissolution, the soul encounters the primordial clear light, a radiant, immense brilliance described as the very essence of mind's absolute nature. This light represents a state of pure, unconditional awareness where duality, fear, and attachment cease to exist. Known by many names, the higher self, the solar mind, this state embodies infinite peace and unity. For the seasoned spiritual seeker, recognizing the clear light offers immediate liberation. If the soul can perceive this light as its own true nature, it attains nirvana, transcending further cycles of the bardas. This recognition demands no ritual or dogma. It is a direct, unfiltered encounter with truth, where all karmic conditioning and personal identity dissolve. However, for the unprepared, the brilliance of the clear light can evoke terror. Instead of embracing it, the mind recoils, clinging to familiar illusions, thereby forfeiting liberation and descending into subsequent bardas shaped by karmic forces and fear. Next comes the Coniad Bardo, the realm of visions. The renowned psychoanalyst Carl Gustav Jung once remarked that gods and demons are projections of the unconscious, potent, and relentless until we recognize them as facets of ourselves. In this bardo, stripped of the physical body, the soul confronts a dimension where the boundaries of form dissolve. Here, projections of the mind manifest in vivid and often overwhelming imagery, ranging from serene and celestial beings to terrifying, monstrous figures. The Coniad Bardo reveals the mind's raw essence, where suppressed desires, fears, and karmic imprints rise in stark clarity. These visions mirror the emotional and karmic states cultivated over many lifetimes. They appear in two distinct forms, peaceful and wrathful manifestations. Initially, peaceful deities, symbolizing enlightened aspects of the soul, offer serene, compassionate visions. Recognizing them as expressions of one's own mind provides an opportunity for liberation, but failure to do so leads to further karmic entanglement. The journey continues through terrifying encounters with wrathful deities, reflecting unresolved fears and destructive impulses. Each stage of the Coniad Bardo serves as both a reflection and a challenge. Understanding that these visions are mere projections of the mind's true nature can free the soul from the illusions of duality. Otherwise, the journey propels the soul into the Sidpa Bardo, where the cycle of rebirth looms, driven by remaining karmic seeds. Thus, the Bardo Thodol is a sacred compass, guiding souls through the liminal space between death and rebirth, offering profound insights into the ultimate nature of mind and existence itself. It beckons us to confront the mysteries of life and death with courage and clarity, illuminating the path to liberation even when the boundaries of the known dissolve. These beings might take the form of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or luminous deities, embodying the virtues nurtured by the soul. Their peaceful appearances convey a profound serenity and offer a comforting tranquility. However, for an unprepared mind, these encounters can seem overwhelming or incomprehensible, causing the soul to withdraw in confusion and question the authenticity of the experience. During the stage of wrathful visions, if the soul fails to recognize the peaceful essence inherent in the earlier visions, it gradually faces more intense apparitions known as wrathful deities. These formidable figures are expressions of anger, fear, and suppressed desires, taking on terrifying and disquieting forms. Crucially, these wrathful deities are not external or malevolent forces, but projections of the mind, embodying the passions and attachments that still tether the soul to the cycle of suffering. The Coniad Bardo is depicted as a realm where the mind transcends physical constraints. In this pure psychic state, all manifestations are magnified. The visions resemble dreams, but unlike ordinary dreams, they possess an extraordinary clarity and vividness. This heightened experience arises because the mind, freed from its corporeal limitations, encounters its internal energies without filters. Everything previously suppressed and stored surfaces with a nearly tangible intensity. These visions present profound opportunities for insight and awakening, as each one symbolizes an aspect of the self in need of integration or transcendence. Those who remain fully conscious within this bardo recognize that all visions, whether serene or terrifying, are mere fabrications of the mind. This realization allows the soul to dissolve fear and achieve liberation. At this juncture, the Bardo Thodol advises focusing on the clear light, the primordial radiance of the mind, described as a vast and untainted brilliance. Perceiving the clear light is the gateway to ultimate liberation, as it signifies the inherent nature of all beings. It is akin to the sun shining behind the clouds of mental projections, a light that remains constant despite all appearances. If the soul can penetrate beyond the visions, enlightenment is attained, and the cycle of rebirth is transcended. However, discerning the clear light is challenging for most minds. The intensity and personal significance of the visions make it difficult to look beyond them. Therefore, the Bardo Thodol emphasizes the importance of spiritual practice during life, training to detach from illusions and contemplate the true nature of the mind. With such preparation, even amidst the intense visions of the Coniad Bardo, practitioners can keep their focus on the clear light and attain peace. Fear and attachment are the primary obstacles to liberation. The vividness of the visions, especially the wrathful deities symbolizing untamed psychological forces, can incite profound terror. This fear fosters a sense of separation, preventing the soul from recognizing these visions as parts of its own psyche. The soul may attempt to flee from them or become fixated on peaceful visions due to attachment, which perpetuates the cycle of samsara. To break free from this cycle, the soul must comprehend the emptiness of all visions. In Tibetan Buddhism, this principle is known as shunyata, or emptiness. A mind that remembers the concept of emptiness during the Coniad Bardo views all visions without attachment, recognizing them as fleeting expressions of its own nature. The Coniad Bardo, therefore, is not a punishment or random suffering but a stage of profound self-revelation, a mirror reflecting the depths of the mind. It serves as a test distinguishing those ready for liberation from those needing further rebirth to continue their learning. The Siddha Bardo, rebirth. In the final phase, the Siddha Bardo, the soul encounters a pivotal moment, the selection of its next existence, shaped by the accumulated force of actions, thoughts, and intentions, commonly referred to as karma. It is as though the entire preceding journey converges on this choice, where inner tendencies determine the soul's next destination. By the time the soul reaches this bardo, it has already experienced dissolution in the Chikai Bardo and confronted projections within the Coniad Bardo. Now, it exists in a state of heightened psychic density, driven by an intensified desire for rebirth, propelled by unresolved fears and attachments. This craving, as Tibetan Buddhism teaches, compels the soul to seek a new body and form of existence. In the Siddha Bardo, karmic imprints influence consciousness like magnetic forces, attracting the soul toward experiences and circumstances that resonate with its inner state. For instance, a soul burdened by fear may gravitate toward a life designed to confront and work through that fear. Similarly, powerful desires and unchecked emotions generate a vortex of energy, shaping the nature of the next incarnation. The soul encounters visions symbolizing the process of rebirth, often depicted as images of couples in union, representing the creation of life. Here, the soul is drawn toward a new form, guided unconsciously by emotional patterns and karmic forces. The Bardo Thodol advises that when faced with these visions, the soul should cultivate detachment and lucidity. Only with a calm, clear mind can it avoid a hasty rebirth driven by ignorance and attachment. For those capable of maintaining composure and insight, the Siddha Bardo offers one last opportunity for transcendence. Liberation remains possible, a chance to break free from the cycle of rebirth. Instead of succumbing to the pull of illusions, practitioners must perceive these visions as transient mental phenomena, devoid of inherent reality. Throughout this stage, the urge for existence surges like a powerful storm, compelling the soul toward a new body. The Bardo Thodol likens this irresistible drive to a psychic tempest, a forceful longing to be and become once more. The selection of a new body is not a deliberate choice made with conscious intent. Instead, It unfolds through a profound, instinctual pull, where the mind's current state shapes the attributes of the next incarnation. It's as if the forthcoming body mirrors what the soul's inner self needs to encounter or resolve in its ongoing journey. This alignment suggests that the next form we assume is a direct reflection of the lessons or experiences necessary for spiritual evolution. This mechanism of transition also mirrors the Buddhist conviction that every rebirth offers a fresh opportunity for spiritual advancement. The body chosen by the soul aligns most harmoniously with its karmic trajectory and spiritual maturity. Yet, many souls remain unaware of this profound chance, finding themselves reborn into challenging circumstances where suffering repeats itself, reinforcing negative cycles. Those unable to transcend their ignorance become entangled in conditions that obscure true liberation. Conversely, individuals who pierce the veil of illusion may attain a state where rebirth ceases, merging instead with the radiant clarity that represents the mind's ultimate nature. According to the Bardo Thodol, preparation for this final liberation begins while we are still alive. By contemplating our desires and fears during life, we cultivate a heightened awareness of the impulses and attachments that direct our fate. Practices such as meditation and mindful reflection on mortality enhance our ability to detach from worldly entanglements, strengthening the mind's resilience against the dramas that emerge in the Siddha Bardo. The Siddha Bardo thus unveils a profound yet straightforward truth. Life and death are inseparably intertwined, and the cycle of rebirth is but a continuous manifestation of our own perceptions and choices. By relinquishing our attachments, we dismantle the chains of samsara, achieving enlightenment, a state beyond rebirth, where the illusion of a fixed self no longer holds sway. The Bardo Thodol transcends mere religious scripture or esoteric doctrine. It serves as a guide for profound self-discovery, a mirror reflecting the mind's essence, and a map charting the course of our destiny. It reminds us that death, while marking the final chapter of one life's story, simultaneously opens the gateway to new beginnings. Reflecting on the words of Ram Dass, when you die, only one question remains. How much did you love? In this light, the Tibetan Book of the Dead invites us to ponder our lives with sincerity. Are we prepared for the ultimate journey? Are we willing to surrender the illusions that define our sense of self? By engaging with these teachings, we may not only prepare for the inevitable end, but also learn to live with greater depth and authenticity. If this exploration of life, death, and rebirth resonates with you, please share this video and subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments what fascinates you most about the mysteries of life after death. The path of self-awareness is vast, and together, we can traverse the profound enigmas of existence. Thank you for joining us on this journey.